Okay, now we will start this today's lecture. So in the last class, we discussed about one type of parallel resonant circuit where the inductance and capacitances are connected in parallel. Okay, so this circuit is also called tank circuit. This circuit is also called tank circuit, which means that where the inductor and capacitors are connected in parallel. So the inductor stores energy and discharges energy. Also, capacitor stores energy and discharges energy. So the inductor stores energy and discharges back to capacitor, and the capacitor stores energy and discharges back to inductor. So there is back-to-back energy storage and discharge between inductor and capacitor. So therefore, the circuit is also called tank circuit. Circuit is also called tank circuit. Sometimes people ask derived resonant frequency for tank circuit. We will derive the resonant frequency what we derived in the last class. Okay. So we have one doubt. Yeah, Mahidar. Any doubt?
Sir.
Any doubt? I'm not getting your voice. I'm not getting your voice. Please wait.
By mistake question, sir. By
Huh?
mistake. By mistake question.
Okay. It's all right. Okay. So therefore, here there is another combination of parallel resonant circuit where the resistance, inductance, and capacitance are connected in parallel. Okay. So, however, these two are connected in parallel. Inductor and capacitor both are connected in parallel. So that's why it is called parallel resonant circuit. If these two are connected in series, then it is called series resonant circuit. Series resonant circuit. Now we will derive the resonant frequency, bandwidth, quality factor of these parallel resonant circuit. Okay, while calculating resonant frequency for parallel circuit, you better to calculate admittance. Even not only for resonant circuit. While analyzing parallel circuits, we better to calculate admittance, unlike the series circuits where we calculate impedance to analyze series RLC circuits for AC excitation. Okay, so here, we just calculate the admittance of the entire circuit. So for that, here there are three arms. Z1 is equal to R1 and Z2 is equal to JXL and Z3 is equal to suppose minus JXC. Impedance of the sum, and impedance of the sum. So Z1 is equal to R, JXL and minus JXC. So where the total admittance YT is equal to 1 by ZT, reciprocal of impedance, total impedance, which is equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. So where Z1 is equal to R plus Z2 JXL, Z3 minus JXC. So from this we can get 1 by R minus, if you bring this J to numerator, so minus J by XL. So minus J, if it comes to numerator, will becomes plus J. So J by XC. So therefore 1 by R minus J into 1 by XL minus 1 by XC. Okay. So at resonance, the reactive part is equal to 0. Or it is an admittance. The imaginary part of the admittance is equal to 0. So the imaginary part of the admittance in the circuit is equal to 1 by XL minus 1 by XC. Which is equal to 0. From this, 1 by XL is equal to 1 by XC. So that if you cross multiply these two, we can get XL is equal to XC. Okay. So from this, substitute XL value and XC value in terms of omega naught. Naught represents resonance condition. Okay. Actually, XL, omega L, naught represents resonance condition. Omega naught L is equal to 1 by omega naught C. Again, if you cross multiply it, omega naught square L into C is equal to 1. From this, omega naught square is equal to 1 by LC, and omega naught is equal to 1 by root LC. 1 by root LC radians per second. So this is resonant frequency in terms of radians per second. So if you substitute omega is equal to 2 pi f. So therefore from this f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. 1 by 2 pi root LC. These two are resonant frequencies. But this is the resonant frequency in terms of radians per second, and this is the resonant frequency in terms of hertz. Where f naught is called resonant frequency. So this way you can derive the resonant frequency for the parallel resonant circuit. Okay, I hope it's clear. It's simple. You just find the admittance and equate imaginary part is equal to 0. Then simplify for omega. Then you can get the resonant frequency. Okay. Then, so we will go to bandwidth calculations. So we know the bandwidth W, bandwidth is equal to F2 minus F1. F2 minus F1 or omega 2 minus omega 1. Actually, this bandwidth is the range of frequencies above which the power transfer to the load is equal to more than 50%, more than 70.7% of the power. 70.7% of the power. Okay. Sorry, more than 50% of the power. More than 50% of the power. At that, the value of current and voltage is equal to 0.707 Vmax. 0.707 Vmax or 0.707 Imax. For series, 0.707 Imax. For parallel, 0.707 Vmax. Because for parallel circuits, the current is minimum. If it is the current is minimum, whereas voltage is maximum for parallel resonant circuit because impedance is maximum at resonance in a parallel resonant circuit. So therefore, that's why they're also called half power frequencies. The power is more than 50%. Okay. So therefore, we calculated the relation between omega C, omega L and R at resonance condition, at half power frequencies, based on the calculation of P by 2 calculations. Okay. So here we derived the condition omega L minus 1 by omega CR plus or minus R. This is the condition for series resonance. We know that, come to this box. We know that in a series circuit at half power frequencies, omega L minus 1 by omega C is equal to plus or minus R. This is for series resonant circuit. This is the impedance at half power frequencies. That is actually R is equal to R plus J omega L minus 1 by omega C is equal to 0. So this is what this is impedance. That is equal to R, okay, minus J omega L minus 1 by omega C. Minus J by omega C. From this here we have got omega L minus 1 by omega C is equal to plus or minus R. So with this concept, you take you consider the impedance at half power frequencies, we can write at lower cutoff frequency, we can choose omega 1c minus 1 by omega n omega 1l is equal to 1 by r minus 1 by r. Okay, so this is the admittance. See here, from this omega naught L minus 1 by C, omega naught L minus 1 by C, omega 1C minus 1 by omega L is equal to minus 1 by R, minus 1 by R. Okay, na? So from this you can take the LCM. So omega 1 square LC minus 1 by omega 1L is equal to 1 by minus 1 by R. We consider here minus for lower cutoff frequency, plus for upper cutoff frequency, So from this omega 1 square LC minus 1 is equal to minus omega 1 L by R. From this omega 1 square LC plus omega 1 L by R minus 1 is equal to 0. So to have second order quadratic equation here, take LC as common. From that omega 1 square plus omega 1 L by RLC minus 1 by LC is equal to 0. From this omega 1 square plus L gets cancelled. So 1 by RC into omega n, omega 1 minus 1 by LC is equal to 0. 1 by LC is equal to 0. Okay. So with this, so this is a second order quadratic equation. You just find the roots of this equation. From the above equation, so omega 1 is equal to minus B minus 1 by RC. Here take plus sign only, plus 1 by minus square root of B square 1 by RC square minus 4 into AC. Here A is equal to 1, C is equal to minus 1 by LC. From this, if you bring this 2 to numerator, minus 1 by 2 RC plus square root of 1 by 2 RC square equal to 4. So therefore 2 RC square plus 1 by LC. If you bring this 2 to numerator, it will become 4 into the root. So therefore 4 by 4 gets cancelled. So 1 by LC you can get. Because this is the lower cutoff frequency. Similarly, to obtain upper cutoff frequency from this equation 1, we can write omega 2c minus 1 by omega 2l, which is equal to plus 1 by r. If it is plus or minus r, you should consider minus for lower cutoff frequency and plus for upper cutoff frequency. So omega 2c minus 1 by omega 2l is equal to 1 by r. So from this, without going through all these calculations, so we can write omega 2 is equal to straight away. So instead of minus here, you can get plus 1 by 2 RC plus 1 by 2 RC square plus 1 by LC Okay, nothing is here. So this is the condition we derived for series resonance at half power frequencies. With this, we can write here L. In place of L, C comes into picture. In place of C, L comes into picture because it is parallel. We will see this concept in duality. At the end of fifth chapter. Okay. However, this is the expression for admittance. If you calculate mathematically on paper, you can get this condition from the admittance part. Okay. This is admittance part. From the admittance, you can get impedance. Okay. Now. Okay. From this, bandwidth is equal to W2 minus W1. where W2 equal to 1 by 2 RC into this one minus 1 by 2 RC plus this one. So that you can get 1 by 2 RC plus this plus 1 by 2 RC minus of this. Okay, so these two gets cancelled. You can get 2 by 2 RC, 2 by 2 RC, which is equal to 1 by RC, which is equal to 1 by RC. 1 by RC. So therefore, bandwidth VW is equal to W2 minus W1, which is equal to 1 by RC, radians per second. Radians per second. If you want to calculate it in terms of hertz, just substitute 2 pi f. Omega 2 minus omega 1, 2 pi f. F0 is F2 minus F1 is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC, you may get 1 by 2 pi RC. Instead of 1 by RC, in terms of hertz, you may get 1 by 2 pi RC. 1 by 2 pi RC. Okay. So this is the way how to calculate the impedance of the parallel resonant circuit. Parallel resonant circuit. Okay. So now here, if you come to quality factor, already we defined one definition for quality factor in the last class, not last class, while discussing about series resonant circuits. So the quality factor Q is equal to the voltage across inductor or capacitor by voltage at resonance. Voltage at resonance. Okay, that is actually secondary formula, but for the ease of analysis, I told you. But for knowing the concept, we must know the quality, that is quality factor. The quality factor Q is equal to 2 pi into maximum energy stored by the energy dissipated per cycle. Energy dissipated per cycle. Suppose if you consider the inductor case, the maximum energy stored is equal to half Li square, and from that the energy dissipated per cycle is equal to dissipation. Energy dissipation means the energy only dissipated through resistance. Energy stored in inductor and capacitor, whether energy dissipated by the resistor. So therefore here the energy dissipated per cycle is equal to I square RT. I square R power. If you multiply with time, you can get energy. So I square RT, where I is equal to I by root 2. This is an RMS value. This is an RMS value. So you just substitute these two here. Q is equal to 2 pi into half Li square by I by root 2 square RT. I by root 2 square RT. Okay. So if you substitute, so here the value of I, this is I is equal to current flowing through the inductor. So therefore I is equal to V by omega L square. And here this is the current flowing through the resistance. So therefore V by R. So here this I is equal to current flowing through the inductor, and this I is equal to current flowing through the resistor. So therefore substitute I is equal to V by omega L square and V by root 2 R square into R into where T is equal to 1 by F. So from this we can get 2 pi into half L V square by omega square L square by V square by 2 R square into R into 1 by F. So here, well, L square and L gets cancelled. R and R square, this one gets cancelled. If you simplify it, you can get 2 pi into the numerator comes V square by 2 omega square L. V square by 2 omega square L into here V square R. No, not V square by 2 R into F. V square by 2 R into F. So therefore 2 RF by V square. So V square gets cancelled. V square gets cancelled. And these two gets cancelled. These two gets cancelled. V square gets cancelled. So therefore here 2 pi remains. F R remains. So therefore 2 pi F R by omega square L. Where 2 pi F is equal to omega. So omega R by omega square L, which is equal to R by L. L. So therefore the quality factor Q is equal to R by L. R by L. R by L. Okay. Suppose if you come to the capacitor case, for capacitor case, the maximum energy stored is equal to half CV square, and energy dissipated per cycle is equal to P into T. V square by 2R. Actually, V square by R. Okay. V square by 2. V square by 2 R into 1 by F. Into 1 by F. Because V square, where V is equal to V by root 2. That's why you can get 1 by V square by 2. I hope it's clear. It's an RMS value. V is equal to V by root 2. V by root 2 square is equal to V square by 2. V square by 2. So V square by 2R into T, 1 by F. 1 by F. You just substitute these two here. Q is equal to 2 pi into half CV square by V square by 2R into 1 by F. From this, 2 into CV square by 2 into 2RF by V square. So V square gets cancelled. And these 2 gets cancelled. Okay, nothing in the denominator. So therefore, you can get 2 pi F CR. 2 pi F CR from this omega CR. Omega. Therefore, Q is equal to omega CR. If we consider in capacitor case, it is equal to omega CR. If we consider inductor case, it is equal to R by omega L. R by omega L. Finally, the Q is equal to R by omega L, which is equal to omega CR. R by omega L, which is equal to also equal to omega CR. This is for capacitor case, and this is for inductor. Okay. So therefore, for this parallel resonant circuit, we calculated the resonant frequency as well as bandwidth, also the quality factor. Quality factor. Okay. So therefore, if you compare the sum of factors for a series and parallel RLC resonant circuits, so it is like this. The resonant frequency is same for both. F naught 1 by 2 pi root LC and 1 by 2 pi root LC. Whereas quality factor, here it is R. Some typographical mistake. Quality factor Q is equal to, it is for series omega L by R 1 by omega CR, which is equal to here C R by omega L and omega CR. This is also reciprocal of it. Reciprocal of series resonance. Omega L by R by omega L, 1 by omega CR, omega CR. The bandwidth is equal to actually R by L here. R by L. Here it is 1 by RC. 1 by RC. However, these two are not formulas were derived. This is for only specific parallel what we derived just now. Okay, what we derived just now. Because we can only compare these two because they're in series RLC. These three are in series. Whereas in parallel RLC, these three are in parallel. Then only we can compare. Otherwise, we cannot compare the other parallel circuit. See here, magnification. Magnification here in series circuit, I already told you. Without transformer, at resonance, we can get we can improve the voltage magnitudes. Okay, through the resonance. Even if you consider quality factor Q is equal to VL by V. VL by V. So therefore, VL is equal to VC is equal to V into Q. The Q is always greater than 1. For better amplification circuit, the Q may be more than 10, even more than 100 also. 100 also. So therefore, if Q is 100, VL is 100 times of V. If V is equal to 1, if Q is 100, so therefore VL is equal to 100 volts. Though input voltage is 1, because of high quality factor, if Q is 100, VL is equal to 100 volts. At the same time, VC also equal to 100. VC also equal to 100. What is total voltage? Total voltage. Voltage across inductor and capacitor is equal to 0 only. So you need not bother about the total voltage. The output voltage may not greater than the input. Though the voltage across inductor and capacitor are much larger than input. For this example, we considered when V is equal to 1, VL is equal to 100, if Q is equal to 100. Is it right? At the same time, VC also equal to 100 for V equal to 1. But because of these two are opposite in nature, VL is equal to VC, where VC is equal to minus 100. So 100 minus 100 will become 0. Will becomes 0. Okay? Will becomes 0. That is, so therefore here in series circuit, the voltage across L and C magnification takes place, enhancement. Whereas in series parallel resonance, the current flowing through L and C magnification takes place. Whereas if you come to current I is equal to V by R, so which is maximum at resonance, maximum at series resonance. Whereas in parallel resonance, the current is minimum. The current is minimum. Okay, because here see, here in series resonance circuit, the value of R is as small as possible. R is as small as possible, otherwise circuit can't get any current. Whereas in parallel circuit, the value of R is as maximum as possible, Okay, so this circuit, if R is suppose minimum, so the voltage may get short circuit, Okay, so therefore this R should be as much as possible in order to get maximum power from the source. Okay, so I think it's clear. If you have any doubt, ask me. If it is clear, say yes in the chat box. If you have any doubt, type in the chat box. I will explain once again. If you have any doubt, raise your doubt so that I will explain once again. I don't know how many of you are following me, but however, I am doing my best for this. Okay, if you follow me, it is well and good. If not, at least follow my slides. Even if you go through my slides, you can get better information than a textbook. Any doubt? Okay. Okay. So therefore, so we discussed about two types of parallel resonance circuit. Not two types, two designs of parallel resonance circuits. Okay. Then, so this is the comparison of series and parallel. Okay. And we'll consider another circuit to calculate resonant frequency of the parallel circuit. Now here see, consider L and C, and there are two resistances. L1 is having internal resistance and C also having internal resistance. Earlier, while considering the first parallel resonant circuit, we considered only R in series with L. Now you also consider R2 in series with C. Okay, so I will move quickly because the procedure is same. So therefore I will move quickly. Just follow me. Okay, be concentrate. So here there are two arms. So therefore Z1 is equal to R1 plus JXL. Here this is another arm where Z2 is equal to R2 minus JXC. So there are two impedances, Z1 and Z2, where Z1 is equal to R1 plus JXL and Z2 is equal to R2 minus JXC. So therefore, your total admittance YT equal to 1 by ZT is equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2. 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2. So from this, where Z1 is equal to R plus JXL plus 1 by R2 minus jXC minus jXC. So therefore here, if you rationalize these two, so R1 minus jXL is equal to R1 square plus XL square plus R2 minus jXC by R2 square plus XC square. So then you separate real and imaginary parts. Real and imaginary parts. So here R1 by R1 plus square plus XL square plus R2 by R2 square plus XC square minus J into XL by R1 square plus XL square. Okay, here minus XC by R2 square plus XC square. Okay, so at resonance, the imaginary part of admittance is equal to 0 or net reactance is equal to 0. Net reactance, or you can call it as net susceptance, you call it as, it is called susceptance. Instead of reactance, I will change it later. Net susceptance is equal to 0. Net susceptance is equal to 0. So therefore, this is equal to 0. So XL by R1 square plus XL square minus XC by R2 square plus XC square is equal to 0. Then if you bring it into right side, you may get positive, then substitute XL and XC values in terms of omega naught. Omega naught L by omega naught square L square, 1 by omega naught C plus R2 square plus 1 by omega naught square C square. C square. Okay. Then take LCM and cross multiply. If you take LCM, here omega naught square C square, here omega naught C only. So therefore, omega naught square C square, omega naught C cancel, you get omega naught C by R square into omega naught square C square plus 1. Omega naught L by R1 square plus omega naught square L square. Then cross multiply these two, so you can get here omega naught gets cancelled. Omega naught gets cancelled, then cross multiply. So L into R square omega naught square C square plus 1 is equal to C into R1 square plus omega naught square L square. Okay. Then you do this blah blah to get omega naught square. Okay, na? If you bring constants, CR1 square minus L, omega naught square left side, R2 square, omega naught square, LC square minus, so omega naught square, LC, here LC square, L square C. So take LC common. So therefore, here C common, C R2 square, C R2 square minus L. From this, omega naught square is equal to CR1 square minus 1 by CR1 square minus L by LC into CR2 square minus L. From this, omega naught is equal to square root of CR1 square minus L by LC into square root of CR2 square minus L. So if you bring these LC to outside, 1 by root LC into square root of CR1 square minus L by CR2 square minus L. This is omega naught in terms of radians per second. If you substitute omega naught is equal to 2 pi f naught, from this f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC into square root of CR1 square minus L by CR2 square minus L. CR2 square minus L. This is the way how to calculate resonant frequency for any type of parallel circuit. Okay, even there are 3 or 4 branches in parallel. You calculate their impedances separately, then calculate admittance, simplify the admittance, and equate the imaginary part of admittance is equal to 0, so that you can get resonant frequency of any kind of parallel circuit. So you need not worry about number of branches, number of elements presented. Just follow the procedure. Okay. So in this aspect, you just calculate the resonant frequency of this circuit as a homework. So take the circuit quickly. C, R, L and R in parallel. C, R, L and R in parallel. Okay. Okay, I will share these slides today because today I am going to close this third unit. Okay. So here there are two problems I clearly solve. This is one. This is one. I think only I solved one. One I thought to give homework, but I didn't take it. Okay. Now you come to this problem. This is somewhat interesting problem. You just come to this. Then after sharing my slides, you just go through the other two problems. Okay. Now see. Find the value of C in the circuit shown to get resonance. See here 20 ohm, J 37.7 ohm, 10 ohm C. So as usual, calculate the impedances of two branches, 2 arms. Here these two are in parallel. Z1 is equal to 20 R plus JXL, J 37.7. Whereas Z2 is equal to 10 minus JXC. 10 minus JX. So now therefore YT is equal to 1 by ZT. So 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2. Okay. Then substitute Z1 and Z2 here. Z1 20 plus J 37.7. Z2 10 minus JX. Okay. You simplify. You rationalize it and separate real and imaginary parts. Okay. Okay. Don't worry about the understanding. It is just procedure what we followed for last 2 or 3 problems. Okay, but here there is a numerics. Earlier there is a variables, nothing different. So separate real and imaginary, and at resonance the imaginary part is equal to 0. The imaginary part is equal to 0. So for that, take the imaginary part. So 37.7 by 20 square plus 37.7 square minus XC by 10 square plus XC square. Okay, from this 37.7 by 20 square is equal to XC by 10 square plus XC square. And from this, again, if you simplify it, here all are real values. So from this you can get this value 0.021 into XC by 10 square plus XC square. And again from this, so 2.1, this will become 100, you know. This will become 100. Okay. So this will become 100. 100 plus XC square. So therefore, so 100 into 0.021, 2.1 plus 0.021 XC square is equal to XC. So 0.021 XC square minus XC plus 2.1 is equal to 0. Plus 2.1 is equal to 0. So this is again the second order quadratic equation. So you just find the roots of it. Simply by calculator. Simply by calculator. You may get, if you calculate the roots of this equation, you may get XC is equal to 45.41 or XC is equal to 2.22 ohm. So from that, if you substitute XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC, XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. So for both values of XC, you can get two values of C, two values of capacitor. C is equal to 70.1 microfarad and C is equal to 1.44 millifarads. 1.44 millifarads. Okay. So that means. So here, what is the value of C? The value of capacitor. What is actually problem is he asked to find the value of capacitance to get resonance. So therefore here there are two possible values of C for this given circuit to produce the resonance. That means the circuit can produce resonance at C is equal to 70.7 1 microfarad as well as C equal to 1.44 millifarads. So if C is equal to 70.1 microfarad, the circuit produces resonance, and also C is equal to 1.444 millifarads, the circuit produces resonance for that particular frequency. Okay, so therefore there is a possibility of producing the resonance, okay, for a capacitor for a frequency more than one capacitance value, that you remember. A circuit can produce resonance at different values of frequency, capacitance, as well as different values of inductor. That is the meaning of this problem. Okay, so like that, now you just solve this problem, the second problem. Okay, here you may get, for L, you may get two values. 19.01 millihenry or 1.31 millihenry. If you follow the same procedure, calculate Z1 and Z2, calculate admittance, and equate imaginary part is equal to 0. Then you can get again quadratic equation, second order quadratic equation. If you solve that, you can get two roots. If you calculate those two, you can get two values of inductance. Okay, that's all. So if you have any doubts, ask me, because I think your class starts by 11. Next class starts by 12, I think. Is that right? Any doubts? Ask me through chat box, or raise your hand. I will unmute you.